Bonjour à tous et bienvenue dans le deuxième podcast de rugby d'Australie. Dans l'émission d'aujourd'hui, nous avons une légende du rugby de Bordeaux, Jean-Baptiste Dubier. Alors détendez-vous et profitez du spectacle.
We the PAC, this POD.
Laissez encore global after this. Name drops him.
All the time, I do hope for the weekend.
I'm done. Hey, Laurent.
Good afternoon, ladies and Tonys. You're listening to the Pack Podcast, powered by the Pig Athletic Club. My name is Sione, and if this is your first time joining us, we are a touring rugby club and reformed media platform for the players. We're the voice of the people, and we're here to make rugby great again, one meme at a time. Please welcome don't welcome my co-hosts. Don't welcome any of them. As most of you know, we record this podcast on a Wednesday, so it's the 14th of February, a day of love, and there's no love here. There's no love here today. My co-hosts and my co-hosts over in Sydney, they're all busy. They're all busy. Just like I did on Freeney's Baby Q. They didn't turn up. So it's just me on my lonesome. It doesn't bother me, That's my ex-wife and my friends. Anyways, I digress. I actually don't know what digress means, but you Balangi people like to use it a lot. So I digress. We're going to carry on. Today's podcast, we do have French rugby legend, Bordeaux Bergler rugby legend, and also played for Stade Montis. I believe Stade Montis. We'll be interviewing him. We're going to go straight to Ironside and myself as we chat to JB, Jean-Baptiste Dubier, about his journey from French rugby, club rugby, going through the ranks and spending 16 odd years in the top 14, top 14. No, sorry about that. I speak French now, top 14. Tune in for that. And that brings me to our promo code. Thanks everyone for jumping on last week, but this week's promo code, discount code, gets you a little tasty discount on our website, pigathleticlub.com. But the discount code for this week is Jean-Baptiste Dubier. So JeanBaptiste Dubie. So treat yourself, and I hope you guys are having a lovely Valentine's Day. It's nothing new to me. I love being alone in a garage, and it's where I do my best work. It's where I do my best work, guys. I digress. And make sure you stick around after the interview. If you have been liking the Ben Tunes of the week, got a nice little tasty one for you. It's on the DJ Noise sort of feel. It's a little bit of a remix this week, so tune in for that. But enjoy the interview, and make sure you get out to club rugby this weekend. I believe JB is playing for Manly. He's Manly's new signing, by the way. He's playing for Manly against the Tars in a trial match this weekend. So get down to Rat Park. I believe Manly and the Rats are playing against the Tars this weekend. So get down to that and cheer on the boys. Otherwise, get behind your Super Rugby teams, get behind your club rugby teams, and let's all make rugby great again, because we need it. Australia, we need it here in Australia. And anyways, I digress. And enjoy the interview.
Good to go. All right, our next guest, as according to his Wikipedia page, which I had to translate from French, he's listed at 5'11" and 34 years young. I don't know if any of this is real, remember. This is just what I get off your wiki. In 2007, he made his debut for Stade Montis, winning 14 caps there and scoring a total of 85 points, which you remember every single one of them, I reckon. He then moved to Union Bordeaux, playing 122 games, scoring 72 points, playing with one of our favourites, Swoopy, as he calls him.
D-O-double-G.
However, in his wiki, all I could find out was about how his wife, Alexia, is a way better athlete than him. She played basketball for 13 years, I think you told me. Yep, there you go. He looks great in budgies. JB Dubie, welcome, mate. Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you.
So we met, you've met a few of our pack correspondents, so I'm still shocked that you're here. Knuckles and Chainsaw in France. But, mate, you've changed your lifestyle. You're down here in Manly, living in Manly, playing for the Marlins this year. What's been the biggest adjustment to life in Australia?
Well, there were heaps of changement for me. so when we arrived the 3rd of November straight, there are 2 big parties with Budgie Smuggler. So we landed at 7 a.m. straight to a board party. So for sure now I can say hangover is better than jet lag. So I had 2 big nights straight, and the jet lag was gone. So yeah, that was a pretty good experience. Straight in it.
Straight into it on a boat on Sydney Harbour as well. We were lucky to. I was lucky to on our boat. We kept telling everyone it was our boat.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, you're working down. You've obviously had the connection with Budgies. So you're working here, Budgies, and you were saying before we started this that it's a bit of an adjustment to life working full time behind a desk pushing some pens and paper.
A little bit. But furthermore, when you never worked in your life, so yeah. That's the first month was, you know, when you got this old car, you got some old pickups here, and she's just like the warning everywhere, red lights everywhere. So I had like red light everywhere on my legs, knees, ankle, back, even neck. Because like on the computer and it's like sore neck. So I try to do some elastic stuff like the front row now to work on my computer skills. But it's getting there now, and I really enjoy. But it's been quick.
Yeah. And also, we're talking as well. You obviously got some good English there, but we don't speak English in Australia. We were discussing that.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks to the boys I met. Thanks to Swoopy, Luke Jones, Kane Douglas, all the big cans I met in France. I had a good training period back in the days, but it's more tough for my wife. She just speaks with US players and a guy from the Eastern Europe, so it's pretty different accent. So every time it's like when she speaks, they say like, sorry, just what you say, and she's like, please help me. But she works at the Budgie office at the shop, so she just like keep learning. That's good for her.
Yeah. And we'll go back a little bit. So obviously you're playing the centres preferred, but it told me that when I looked on your wiki, it said you played every position in the backs.
That was back in the day.
But obviously, you know, professional contracts over there and French rugby is so different to what we're used to here. So, what was that like getting your debut over there? How old were you? Talk us through that.
Yeah, so it's funny because you say Stade Montis, and this is Stade Montois.
Well, let's not get into my French pronunciation.
French lesson. Come at my. I'm living just down there. Come there. But yeah, it's pretty different. I was pretty lucky. We had a good team with my teammates, and this is my hometown, so we just grew together and became pro, most of them, which is pretty rare. And we've been French champions under 18 years old, and then straight at 8 years old I had my first pro game, and then, you know, it's happened some stuff like lucky, and then I jumped in the professional lifestyle pretty early in the age. So, and then thanks to my hometown, I just keep working, training, and I signed pretty old. I was like 25 years old when I signed at UBB. But Stade Montois is like, you know, it's like we haven't got a lot of money, but it's a very good level of rugby. We used to play top 14 and then go back straight away because we have relegation in France.
Yeah.
And so it's also like very good for, you know, think about like how we begin, how it's real life also, working out, have a quick touch with the highest level, then going back to where you're from, and then you want to stay there. So I had this opportunity to sign in 2015 in Bordeaux, and pretty lucky.
Nice. Was that a hard decision to leave your hometown, or were you quite happy to just?
So, you know, I had just 2 clubs in my life, and you know, obviously you don't know Stade Montois. Mont-de-Marsan is in the southwest of France. I'm from the southwest. I'm from the Pyrenees, like south, and I've been to Mont-de-Marsan, which is like 2 hours driving, and I've been to Bordeaux, which is 1 hour driving. So I stay in the southwest side.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a southwest man.
Yeah, Southwest man.
Yeah. And so that was okay because my wife was playing in Mont-de-Marsan basketball. So first, that was okay to have like 1 hour. Used to do it like once a week, and then could catch up with the family. I'm very close with my dad, mom, and sister. And so yeah, that was the perfect option for me.
Yeah.
I had this offer in 2013, but I was still in contract with Mont-de-Marsan, and my club didn't want me to leave. Even if I cried in the office in front of my boss, I was like, please let me go. I did some stuff. I was paid $200 playing top 14, please.
Yeah.
And they say no.
Yeah. No, that's
But that
fair.
was good though, and yeah, I'm still in touch with my hometown. Now my friends are trainers, and I'm still following UBB. Is going very well at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got some good players over there, don't they?
Yeah, they had some good recruitments, with especially in the back lines,
Yeah.
and some very key point position on the front. So yeah, we have some good houses in the team.
Yeah.
And we used to have some Fijians, and we swapped Fijians for Aussies. But that's funny. Yeah. I love also those Fijian. We have like a big mix, and it's a new page, a new BB. We have a new like staff squad of coaching.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's. I think we're on the way to doing well this year, but top 14 is one of the toughest championship because it's very long.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask about how you got into rugby when you were younger. Like, I know football's massive in France. Why did you choose the rugby route?
Yeah, from where I'm from, it's more about rugby.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really rugby stuff. All small village got their own club rugby, and then this is like pretty much then here. I think like Saturday or Sunday, it's the rugby game, so everyone go to watch the family and friends and stuff. And my family, my dad used to play at the good level. My uncle played for the France when he was younger, under 18, 17 and stuff like that. And on my mom's side, they all play rugby.
Yeah.
And if my mom could play, she would be like very good hooker, I reckon. She got strong neck, good shoulders.
I hope she watches this and has a translation.
Yeah, do the subtitles. She would be very happy. Hey, mom, bisous.
And who was like your childhood hero? Did you look up to any? Was it a French national player or probably?
His name was Thomas Castagnède. He used to play. He was like a utility back. He was a small guy, very good skills, and that was the period of the French flair, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, he could play number 10 to number 15. Had some good skills, and he was from Mont-de-Marsan also. So you know, just. You
mean Stade Montis?
Stade Montis. yeah. He plays youngs at the Stade Montis.
I might walk out of this fucking interview right now.
Yeah, right. I like Stade Montis, but it's
I've
good.
been calling it Stade Montis too.
Yeah, I think that's where I got it all. I think it was you that said it.
So yeah, I have this guy, and also Stade Montois. Well, it's a team well known because we're talking about the Fijians, but the first Fijians who arrived in France arrived at Mont-de-Marsan. The first one was Waisale Serevi. He's a very famous seventh player, and he arrived with other players, and they were the first 3 Fijian players arrived. And thanks to a man named Pierre Lay, they call him Papa. His name Daddy. Bigger, they were looking after them. It's cool because Mont-de-Marsan, it's a very small town, so you can't do anything. Just play rugby and drink kava as a Fijian.
Yeah.
And they made the day of the Stade Montois when we went French champion for second division. We had those 3 Fijians, Waisale Serevi, De La Sao and Satala, and you know, it's just became important, and those Fijian arrived and then changed the game in the wings. So yeah, that was a cool experience. And I was a kid, and I used to kick the ball with them, and always been attracted by rugby. I love rugby in my family and stuff like that. But when you can approach those guys, especially maybe it started there, I was like pretty interesting from those guys coming from overseas, leaving the family and friends so far away, and I was like, wow, it should be like very interesting to do the same.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah.
I guess we talk about a lot, but we're so jealous of that French setup. Is that in Australia we just have Australians playing, and maybe there's the odd Frenchman, the odd Englishman are playing in Super Rugby. But yeah, you guys just always have like Fijians, other Australians, English. You've just got such a wide variety of nationalities playing in those teams,
Just like soccer.
yeah,
sort of.
and it's proven that it's actually better for French rugby, because French rugby in the last probably longer 8 years have just like gone gangbusters and gone up. So like, yeah, with all those, you've played with some awesome, some interesting cats over the years, but to give us some stories about some of the, that you've adjusted to life here. Is there any people that you can think that came over to UBB from Australia, or that they just couldn't adjust to start, or was it so easy for them to come to France? And
Yeah, well, I was talking this morning because we had you guys love waking up early in Australia. Mate, I just woke up at 5:25. I was like, what the fuck is that? Never seen that in my life. Just this is the time when I go to bed after a big night. So, we had training this morning, and after that we looked to go grab a coffee, bacon and egg, stuff like that. So, and I was like, it's very different, because all those guys from Churchill, some of them got good level. And I'm just focused on Manly, but I'm watching some videos from other games, and North, not very good. But they got some good level, but they all work. They've got like a work job full time, and then after they go training nighttime, which is so different. When you become pro, you just have to look after yourself and you look after your body, and they got some guys who look after your facilities, accommodation, legs, everything. Yeah. So you have a lot of time to rest, and this is actually what I'm realizing now, because I haven't got any time to rest, and also I don't want to rest. I just want to enjoy here my time. So that's what I'm fucked on the pitch. But some of those guys, I would love them to have this experience. We have 3 professional championships now in France.
Yeah.
So it means you can do kind of a dream during 1 year or 2 years, even if the quotas are a little bit more strict now in France, to have more Frenchies and stuff like that. But you can have an experience and just do what you love the most, and then for sure you will improve. It's pretty logic. If you look after yourself, if you train every single day, do a gym, follow a program, but not following by yourself, is someone tell you, which is different. And then after, you're going to improve your rugby. So makes sense.
Swoop is famous for being one of the famous Aussies over in Bordeaux, but who was your favourite Aussie that came over? Because I know Kane Douglas, and you played with a few others. Who's your favourite Aussie?
I would say I have to say Swoopy, because I was fan of him. And he's also, he's the kind of guy, like, when you have it on the pitch, it's different when he's not on the pitch. And for sure, he's not going to, especially when he was in France, not going to score like 80-meter tries. But he is like so smart. He's got this smart like intelligence of rugby, which make the difference for me. And I'm also not a guy who score 80-meter tries, so I was trying to ghosting him. And he's a really good can. He's a really good character.
He's one of those guys growing up. For me, he's like one of my favourite Wallabies of all time, and I've been lucky because he's from North to meet him. And it's one of those things you never want to meet your heroes. Because he's too funny. And he's like, and you're like, how's this bloke played over 100 tests for the Wallabies? And
man, that's crazy. He loves the beers, and there were an article in France, and I've seen something. I don't know if it's right, but pretty sure then yes, he has the most consecutive caps, 80 minutes, in the whole world. I was like around 60 or something like that. It means that this guy, he's having fun.
He was an athlete,
He was very professional at the time. Like when you arrive, doing a lot of activation and warming up and stuff like that. It's obviously logic, and I really liked him. And also because he was playing the same position than me, so I have to learn a little bit thanks to that. But I'm not going to learn what Ken Douglas does
Yeah.
because he fucking hits you every single training by stepping on your foot. And I was like, come on, Doogie. You know?
And then now you were talking about it briefly. We spoke about it before, but coming from UBB, your first session down at Manly, and people might not know, but Shoot Shield setup definitely. It's usually about 150 people from first grade all the way to third Colts, all playing together, all training together for the first month or so. I might be one of them at some times. Blokes can't run lines. Blokes can't catch a pass. As soon as you go from right to left, people can do it. You go the other way, and balls are dipping down. So, how was that?
Spin the inverse spin.
Crocodile catches. So, how was that? I mean, it would have been frustrating, but I'm sure it was pretty funny at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. The first day I was like, what the fuck I'm doing here? Is that really is that what I wanted? And then at the beginning, and then when I went back home, I was with my wife. I was like, you cannot imagine. But that was cool because what I told you, they're here also for social.
Yeah.
And those guys work. And then when you go see your friends playing a little bit of footy, you're just enjoying. So, yeah, the first time I was like, fuck, we've been to this AstroTurf. It was hard like a fucking. So imagine the warning, my knees. That was very bad. And then we were 150 male, female courts, everything, and I've seen some dislocated shoes. Like, I don't know if I can say that, but like even barefoot guys training with barefoot. Fucking Australian loves working barefoot. Some shirts, and I was like, I was pretty clean, like, brand new boots, nice short, UBB stuff. I was like, whoa, I should change something. And but I really liked, and I was pretty embarrassed when I was doing a knock on. I was like, come on, man, just get your level up. But that was really funny. And now the most difficult thing is to just learn the name. So I just call them, hey, good day, mate. And they say, how you going, JB? I say, I'm good. And then I go for another guy. But now I'm starting to. But also, you have 20. You train with 50 guys. The day after, those. Most of 50% are not here at the training, and yet another part new players are like
20 of them in the pub that afternoon because they can't bother to train.
New faces, new names. I was like, oh wow.
I mean, like you probably won't realise, but you'll be training with some younger guys, and there'll be some good young guys there.
Yeah.
And the thing about this level, I guess, as well, is you learn so much from guys like you that have come from that. Like blokes will be watching you pass, and it's like a whole different. It's like it'd be like you guys having your professional setup all the way to academies, all training together.
Yeah.
But once you said you split into a bit more different type of level of squads.
Yeah.
What's the standard like at training? Look, I mean, you haven't played a game yet. You've watched them. How's the standard now that you've got into pre-season?
Yeah, it's a little bit more interesting, I would say, because it's more about rugby.
Yeah.
I know that you love doing preseason here. But it's actually my fourth preseason in the same years. But yeah, now we can do a little bit of phases, movement, settling, a little bit setup,
nice,
and then walking with the forwards and backs. It looks like a little bit more rugby, and we're still doing some preseason, but we will play next Taz, I think, just a half. But so it's going to be more and more rugby system, smart stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed by the coach when they have to organize this type of training with all those people and without any facilities. We're having our money, as you say, but. So it's very impressive.
Yeah. And obviously the Manly gym's really impressive down at Kell Park.
The garage. I call it the garage. Fuck that.
It's more than we've got, to be honest with you as
I spend my time in the garage. I love this garage, but sometimes fuck, boys, we need to clean this fucking garage.
Yeah, we do that once a year. And we go down to at North. We'll go down and we'll clean the shed out. And we usually go down with a couple cases of beer, and it ends up being two blokes cleaning it, and the rest of us just drinking. So, but we all look.
That's a good idea.
It's a good way to do it.
We have to organise it.
So yeah, coming to the Shoot Shield season, how many games are you playing over in what the French professional season? I'm a bit I'm not as much don't have as much knowledge as Sione on the French stuff. How many games are you playing a year over there?
It's 30 because we play European Cup,
Yeah.
Champions Cup. It's 30 minimum
games.
30,
Yeah, nice.
32
So at least you only have to play
without
8.
the trial games.
Yeah, well, you'll have 3 trials this year. And
Yeah.
Then Manly will only have to play 18 games because you won't make finals.
Whoa.
Okay.
We'll clip this and come back to this and see the end of the season. But I was having a little read about you as well. So you've been on a couple of tours with the French Barbars as well. How were those trips? And where'd you go?
Yeah, it's a little bit my story. I was pretty close to play for France. I had the training camp with France, and I never played for France when I was younger. Even if I was playing top 14 at 18 years old, I had this body. I used to play. I like playing center, but I was pretty skinny back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm not a big boy, and so I started a little bit more on the wing, and then I was enjoying more in the centers. And 2017, I had this training camp, and I was like, "Fuck!" I had the roster on my head.
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, is that me?" So I couldn't realize. And then I didn't do a good training camp. And then when they split the team, we did like a journey in SA, and there were one team France and one team Barbars, and there was like kind of reserve of the France. And so that was my first international experience.
Yeah.
And the captain was Freddie Michalak.
Oh, right.
So
That's
and
cool.
this is also I thought about Thomas Castanet was when I was younger, like as an idol, and he was the guy
Yeah.
also. And so I had my best time ever.
Yeah.
And this is now I say, okay, I'm not an international guy. I'm a babas.
Yeah.
It suits me more than a Frenchie. So I had like a couple caps with I had 4 with the Barbas, and that was like my greatest experience.
Yeah.
And luckily, before finishing at UBB, I had the experience with the Barbarian Football Club with a black and white jersey. Was something unbelievable. And you can feel the weight of the legacy of those players who play with this jersey. And that was my last great experience in a higher level.
Yeah.
And I feel pretty glad to have this life also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're here in Australia now, but I want to know what was the idea around the pivot to come to Australia. Not many people go from pro rugby in France and then come in, like Manly. You're going to love this season here in Shute Shield, but what was that? What was the decision behind?
You know, as I told you, I was pretty impressed by these guys leaving families and friends and going so far away from their country. And so I was like, okay, I would love to do this. But because top 14 was attractive and also money and the bank, so I was like, okay, I will stay in top 14 till I'll be ready to leave. And so I wait for 34 years old. So
Years young. 34 years young, mate. Come
and
on.
but I met this guy named Nicky Price from Southern District. He's from Sunshine Coast, and we became friends. He was 20 years old, arrived in Mont-Marsan. Imagine this guy from Brisbane arrived in
My brother used to live with his brother.
Yeah, okay. So, so you know, it's a small world.
Yeah.
This is just about small world and meet people. And so he arrived in France. Like, he's a really Australian guy. Fuck it. This is the guy who walk barefoot, but in winter. And in winter in France, it's like 0 degrees. All those old people, they were like, hey, Nicky, what the fuck are you doing? Wear your shoes. Why you wear thongs? It's winter. So, and I was like, this guy is different. I must visit him to understand more what is. And so I had Christmas with him, and I love this way of style. And I was like, okay, I want to go have an experience in Australia. And thanks to the people I met, thanks to Budgie, Budgie Smuggler helped me like a lot. So it's also thanks to Swoopy. I did some content with Budgie, and then I met BJ from Manly.
Yeah.
And BJ just flick a message and said, "What do you think? Can I could play for Manly?" He was like, "Sure." So I arrived here, just left my luggage, and then we both work, my wife and I, for Budgie Smuggler. So we're pretty lucky. It's like a really good experience. We know that, and it is what it is. Like, we are living the Australian dream together.
And we're here at the Stain in Manly. You live about 100 metres from here, one of the great pubs that I frequent to every weekend all the time. But, mate, you're also 50 metres from one of the best beaches. And it's like, you know what? It's a great beach, man. It's probably not even the top 10 beach in Sydney, but it's still one of the great places to live. So you are lucky.
Yeah. Yes, I am. I know. But, in the first months, I was too exciting. So I had too much drinks. So my body was, it was changing. I was like, I think I have to stop, or maybe just manage a little bit more, because there are too many options. I met some good guys, and go for a drink. You love beers, guys. And there are some good beers compared to France here.
Yeah.
We love wine, but the beers are like, we're too basic on beer. Heineken, Coronas, stuff like that, Desperados, and here is like, wow.
Desperados.
We got heaps of choice, so you want to try all of them. So that's cool.
Well, me and Sione tried a few different flavours of beers last night.
That's why my eyes are twitching every now and then.
I can see. Next time, put sunglasses, mate.
But before we go, life after rugby, what do you want to get into? Like, someone might be listening that might be, trying to get you along, like try and help you along the way. What's your plan for life after rugby?
So it's also a difficult transition. Even if I've always been attracted by doing something after rugby. So like meet people, doing some formation, schools and stuff. But you haven't got a lot of time to do, because rugby in France take a lot of time. And so this experience with Budgie Smuggler is a great experience for me to be in a real job and learn about the business. And thanks to them, they get me involved in the meeting and marketing and stuff like that. This is my studio I made, but I don't know. And I don't know. And before I left, my president Laurent Marty say, "Okay, we want you to stay at UBB." I was like, "Oh, that's good. What do you want me to do?" It's like, "What you would like to do." I was like, I like the youngs, and I would love to. I think I'd like to look after recruitment and stuff like that. He say, "Yeah, I thought about that." So probably when I go back, normally it's a deal. We shake a hand. We shake a hand. We talk about figures. So sometimes it's like, "Hey, Laurent, you remember what you told me? I probably will need a car also." So I will be involved in UBB. So nice. This is I'm pretty lucky to let this on the side of my head, and I I can enjoy 100% here. And then when I come back, I'll be part of the UBB family, which is my second family now. And still working with the youngs, and recruitment is great stuff. You step back a little bit from rugby, but you're still in it. And this is exactly what I wanted.
And you'll have that unique perspective as well that you went through being a professional athlete. You're not someone that hasn't played in that system. So I can definitely see you doing that. That's different.
It's great.
I'm like 27, so I'm not too old yet. So I'm ready to come. I still
send me a resume
up on my dream yet. So I
don't want highlights. I don't want highlights.
I've got plenty of low lights more than highlights.
Me too.
Mate, JB, thanks so much for coming on with us. I mean, it's going to definitely have to get over your way at some point, and we'll be having some wine somewhere, I'm sure. But
some rosé
with the brosés. But yeah, definitely, mate. Thanks for so much for coming. Thanks for coming to the Stain, and look forward to you putting on the Manly jersey. I'll be going for you personally, but not Manly. I can't do that. But I hope you have a good year. I hope you enjoy your experience here, and mate, thanks so much for coming along.
Thank you very much. You do, and it's a kind of a dream to be part of a big athletic club.
Mate, we'll be packed barbars. We got a barbars too, so
you're in. All right, mate. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Welcome back, Tony's. I know you missed me, but it was good to chat to JB. Great bloke. Love what Budgies are doing to get him over here. You know, taste a bit of the Aussie, get a bit of the taste of the Aussie lifestyle. It's a great thing about rugby, is going around the world and just making new friends everywhere. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I digress. We've got a tasty... Actually, I'll go for a shout out. Shout out to JB for coming in. Also shout out to the Stain Hotel for hosting us, as we shot a few interviews at the Stain Hotel the other week. We're going to do some more, so if you want to jump on, make sure you get into contact with us. We just want to get the voice of people in rugby, the people that make this game great. Get your story out there and share the love. Speaking of love, I've got a lovely little banger for you guys today. For copyright reasons, our Ben Tune of the Week is only available on audio streaming platforms, so head on over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Otherwise, we'll catch you next week.